What's going on, guys, and welcome back. So it feels like forever since I've played a Cyber Dragon deck, and while this might not be your typical build, I think it's the best way the deck can see success moving into this current format that we're in for April 2023. I got 3 quick replays that we're going to go through. They are just game replays. Well, I guess the second 2 are from a match, and then right after that we're going to break into the deck list. So this was not game 1, so I knew he was on Sprite already, and Pot of Prosperity, I didn't want to ash that because I feel like if they lead off with it, they want you to ash it, and like if he's going to set up red before I can do anything, I guess he's going to set up red before I can do anything. Even Sprint there, I knew he had the Angler in hand. I wasn't too worried about it. I know he's on the Melfi package too. He went for Carrot there, so I was like, okay, he must have red in hand, which he did, and I'm not exactly sure why he didn't summon it, because it definitely would save him a bit of a headache. But anyway, he doesn't. He goes Melfi, and we ash the Melfi because not only does that get him a negate, it also gets him a Herald of the Arclight. So that's 2 negates, or a negate and a floodgate, which is just pretty good overall. You can obviously see we are playing a Kaiju build. I think it's the best way to play Cyber Dragon right now. I think it's one of the only ways to play Cyber Dragon right now. And after doing these couple test games, I actually really want to like dive into this like insanely and start bringing it to in real life events, because it's actually a nice refresher and has been a ton of fun. The Kaijus, however, just absolutely love my hand. So we draw into a Kaiju. You can still Kaiju with Slumber on board. Obviously his Carrot would just negate the Slumber, so we're going to go ahead and be able to do that. Then we can go summon out our Naxxer, any Cyber Dragon, go into our fortress, and right here we have the OTK. It's all pending on his back row, and I knew one was double cross. The other turns out to be starter, so we go for Danger Thunderbird, and we happen to hit it, which is good, but then we hit the double cross, which is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to obviously hit the other card, in which case like, you know, you don't have to worry about them, whereas we hit the double cross, it didn't do anything. So we go Draglubion. Like, if it's imperm, he can't stop it there, but he could still stop the Numeron. Numeron gained to 9,000, and then he's going to go ahead, summon out the blue, and blue effect, grab his jet for next turn, attack over it to get it off board, and hope he can't play. He draws into evenly matched. I guess if he evenly me, I would keep Draglubion because I cashed here, I'm playing doubles, and then I'll just Draglubion him again for the same thing. But he does have a level 2 and jet in hand, so he is going to be able to play, unfortunately. Go search starter, use starter, summon out blue, go ahead and grab him another red, go sprint effect, dump, summon, then he goes Cerberus, discard to get rid of, which I don't think he read it. He must have seen the attack stay. It's until your opponent's turn, so he was going to go to 0 at the end of his turn anyway, so that's just a big misplay on his part to not get rid of the Draglubion, because this would be dead anyway. And when it's destroyed, however, I can destroy everything on the field, and we each get a spell card from our grave, which I didn't really read into it too far to that point. First time I've ever summoned him and not either had it destroyed like that, or just didn't straight up win or lose either way. He does get Soul Scissors back and Sprite starter, so that's good for him. Had we, I guess, had he changed starter to the Thunderbird and summoned out, then he had summoned in defense. We could have Gamma Sealed the whatever he summons. He still would have had the same follow-up he went for anyway, and then we would have attacked into the Gamma Seal. He would have lost the 1100 from starter. Then we would have dealt 68 from the 9k down to the Gamma Seal, which would leave him at 100, which would make the other copies of Sprite Starter dead in his deck, so we could have avoided a little bit of this, but we hit the wrong card on our Thunderbird, so we get to keep playing. And I'm not kidding, these Kaiju cards loved my hand so far. Draw into Slumber, which, guess what, both Slumbers are dead. right after this replay, I did go add in one Godarla just to try and avoid this, because like we have Gamma Seal and 2 Jizukiru already in our graveyard and the other Gamma Seal in our hand, and I'm playing a third Jizukiru, being Machine Dex, Fortress, that kind of stuff. So I did add the one Godarla as a third level 8 on top of it, because we can obviously turn Jizukiru into our own Fortress very, very easily. So go get starter, get Gamma Burst, go into Nightmare Phoenix, discard to pop, and he obviously wanted to get rid of our Kaiju Slumber. And it's like, okay, we can banish this, search Jizukiru, and then depending what we draw, we can like Gamma Seal him, Jizukiru, and then attack over, or we can Jizukiru him, summon Gamma Seal, and then make Fortress Dragon and win the game, because, you know, you can banish to grab your Kaiju. But remember how I said Kaijus loved my hand. I drew into all of them. So we give him the little one, we summon out our big one, and he draws into Ash Blossom. Set, pass, we draw into Ash Blossom. Just the irony of that. I'm going to hold Ash in our hand, obviously. We're in a top decking battle. Change a heart, take it, go ahead and attack. And that's all he's going to be able to do, so then we can go ahead and attack right back for game, and then we'll get on into the other replays. This one turned out to be a Generator Kashtira deck, which I've never seen before. It was interesting to say the least. It felt like everything was a starter, and it felt like he had answers for all my cards. But we were able to pull these out, and we'll kind of get into it. Holding the Imperm just because, like, at this point I was kind of thinking just gonna hold it for the Har on my turn just to get rid of the negate, but I don't want him to start ripping my hand with that. So we get hit once, he's gonna do this one, we're like, okay, let's summon that out right away, and then he happens to hit our Naxter, which if he didn't, that's already the OTK right there. Like, Cyber plus Gizmic is OTK. We draw Ash, we're gonna try to Ash it, but he sacked into Called by the Grave, so he negates our Ash, summon out, and now he's going to spam his field. Then Hella, token, Hella effect, tribute, to go and special out the Har back. And we're going to try to force the Har, is really all we were doing here. Force the Har, it worked, he wants to get that off our board. And then we can go change a heart, take the Draco Future, attack, slap down a big Zeus, and control the game from there. There's no point in using Danger Bigfoot for anything there. Like, we're just gonna hold it in our hand at this point. He goes, hits Planet Fenrir, or the other card, I didn't even remember what it was. And right there you have to do it, because if you let Fenrir search and then you do it, because he'll go battle phase to force you, and then he has Unicorn or whatever to just full combo you, so you have to do it there and hope his one card in hand isn't combo. And we draw into a Fear, and at this point it doesn't matter if Bigfoot hits Bigfoot, we just normal out the Fear and summon our Gizmag and attack for almost entirely game, or could play it a little different. End phase, just in case I top decked into a Cyber Dragon, I should have Gizmek'd, because then you summon Gizmek, summon Fear, make Fortress Dragon, then Gizmek back out again. So I should have did that during his end phase, and this wouldn't matter at all. However, we do hit the Cyber Dragon, so we hit summon out, search, or not search, draw, hit Jackalope. Obviously that's going to get us another level 8. Another level 8 gets us the win, and even if, say, he ashed that, we just summon out Gizmek, Zeus, Bigfoot, and Gizmek is enough for game. Bringing us into our third and final replay. Like, this hand is interesting because it's not quite OTK. Like, you need any cyber except for this one. I debated not even playing this in the deck because there's really nothing that it offers you that you want. Like, it doesn't really do anything for you because, like I said, you can't even like slumber, give them Jizukiru, give you one, summon it. Like, I mean, in this instance we could, you know, slumber, give them level 8 tribute over Gizmek, or no, give them Jizukiru, you get like Godarla, normal summon the Cyber Dragon, and then you like put another Kaiju on your board and take it. And like, there's ways around it, but this card just makes things really awkward, and it doesn't provide a whole lot of utility outside of like opening Jizukiru, hit them, special summon it, and then combo that way. Drawing into another slumber, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna ash that. He had called by last time, he can't have called by again. This time he has cross out for the Ash. So he cross outs the Ash, and then we're going to see him pop off and summon again. So now he has his whole board. Keeping in mind here, we're safe to Desires because once we banish 10 and draw 2, we'll only have 15, so he can't use Diabolos. Diabolos can't deck you out directly. It can only deck you out even. So it has to be exact. And Kaijus, like, this is just insane. It's like, it's not supposed to happen. And he does surrender here. So this is how we would play this out to actually OTK. We use Slumber, and it doesn't matter. You can give him Jizukuru and give you Gamma Seal. Then you can tribute summon Cyber Dragon, special summon Godarla because you don't control a Kaiju, make Fortress OTK. Or you could give him the Gamma Seal, you Jizukuru, tribute summon Cyber Dragon, special summon Godarla, talents to take the Gamma Seal, OTK that way. There's a few different routes that you could take. Like I said, Cyber Dragon actually makes this hand OTK, but this is like the outlier, the weird one, and we are still playing Cyber Dragon though, so we're going to keep it in there. But that's it for these replays. Let's go ahead and cover the deck list and describe it for you guys. So jumping right on into the deck list, we see 1 Cyber Dragon, 3 Core, 3 Noxter, 2 Hertz, and the 1 Fear. Breaking these down, like I said, this one has some real niche uses. It's the name of the deck, it's another name, it is a free summon. You can go for Mega Fleet. Like I said, if you Jizukuru them, it comes up really nice where you can use it. It's probably the worst out of all the Cyber Dragons in the deck, however. 3 Core, because obviously Core can get you your emergency can get you whatever you need. 3 Naxter, because we wanted to be able to OTK through being like disrupted, and Imperm on Core hurts a lot because like if you Kaiju Slumber them, give them Jizukuru, give you Gamma Seal, you normal Core and they Imperm, or you normal Hertz and they Imperm, you know, you're in trouble because it's not Cyber Dragon now. You can't make Fortress Dragon because it needs Cyber Dragon, and they're negated, so they're not. I wanted to have some names that allowed me to special summon to keep extending, so I can discard and summon Naxter. I can chain Fear to the Core summon. I can use Emergency to search out Naxter to get that extra body that is still Cyber Dragon on board. So having those 7 extra copies really comes in handy. 2 Hertz for revival, for grind game, for if things don't go right. It's also the only one that really pluses us off of like dangers gone wrong, things like that. Like I said, Fear is the free body on board, plus the normal summon to have 1600 attack is kind of nice and can come up. Gizmek Orochi, this card plus Cyber is also OTK. I could have played more. I could have played things like Trade-In. I didn't really want Trade-In because like top deck Trade-In is really bad, whereas Desires top deck can win you a game potentially. You might say Desires with Mind Hacker in the format. A lot of the time, if you Desires, like after they hit you, you actually like can protect yourself from that Mind Hacker. You'll have 8 banished. This would put it to 18. You start with the 40, so 35 in deck, 7 get banished. You have 28 left in deck, right? So you have 28 in deck, you draw 1, you have 27 left in deck, just like we saw in the replay. You open Pot of Desires, you play it, you have 17 left, you draw 2, you have 15 left, but you have 18 banished, so they cannot Mind Hacker you. So just keep that in mind. Desires does not play into Mind Hacker if they do the normal combo line and hit 7 off your deck to begin their turn. Other than that, I didn't necessarily feel the need for more Orochi. I have a lot of access to level 8s. I got the 5 Dangers, I got my Kaijus, the Slumbers, and we can also contact fuse the Jizukuru into Fortress. So I felt like I had a lot of level 8s, and I wasn't too worried about trying to find more level 8s. So that's just why the 1 Orochi, because this card can hurt you with the Banishing 8. If you open the Orochi playline, you kind of dedicate yourself to the OTK. Like, you're really going to go for it then at that point. Orochi also being able to pop a card on the field if you don't need to, say, make a fortress and summon it back is another level 8. Being able to pop a card on the field or just bait out a negate is really, really nice. Kaijus, 3 Jizukiru because Fortress Dragon makes it even better, 2 Gamma Seal and the 1 Godarla. I added the Godarla in, like I had mentioned, because I had some awkward times where I could use that extra name. Didn't need another Gamma Seal because I just wanted that third name and potential out there. 2 Bigfoot, 2 Thunderbird, and 1 Jackalope. Jackalope just being a free level 8, obviously. The others are potentially a level 8 and a draw, or you can pop a card on the field, which is always pretty nice, especially when you're going second. Shouldn't need to really explain Ash, best hand trap. 3 Emergency because no Repair Plant. And you might say, but Repair Plant can search out Kaiju. That's true, but Repair Plant can also brick your hand. I don't need to search out Jizukiru. I'm playing 9 Kaiju cards and a bunch of other really good going second cards. I don't need to open Kaiju. I don't need to search Kaiju. And I really don't need to brick on Repair Plant. So, especially in a format with a Rise Heart where Galaxy Soldier cannot be used under a Rise Heart. Repair Plant isn't going to be live under a Rise Heart. That's why we're not playing those cards, because I just wanted the deck to be live and be able to be played and used right off the bat versus any deck, and Kashtira being the deck. I didn't want, 3 cards right there and the main focal point of the deck to not even be live versus the most popular deck of the format. 2 Talents cards is insane. Especially with Rise Heart being mandatory. 2 Pot of Desires. Consistency, you're trying to make that push. The +1 is insane. Not sure if you guys can hear, but it is storming in the background. Hopefully we don't lose power and I can get this all done for you guys today. Yeah, the Desires is nice. It lets you see what you want, and it is a OTK deck, so if you can get it and win, it really doesn't matter. The Banish 10 doesn't hurt too much. Feather Duster because back row, and Change a Heart because the card's broken. Kind of wanted to put Thrust in, especially with the Feather Duster, but then I was like, that really doesn't even make that much sense, because there's the Labyrinth, they're not really dropping names effects on you too often, and if they do, they're already rolling, and Feather Duster is going to be a little lackluster. Triple Infinite Impermanence then is another hand trap. 1 Mega Fleet, 2 Fortress. You're playing the 3 Kaijus, you're going to want the 2 Fortresses. Remember, you cannot hit a Rise Heart with Fortress unless it's negated, because you cannot Contact Fuse under Macrocosmos type effects. We are playing the 1 Rise Heart because we do have the Talents and we do have the Change of Heart. So if they use Shangri-Ira and you take their Kashtira monster, you can slap down your own Rise Heart on it. It's just that 1 extra deck spot. It's a niche use, and if your opponent sees it, they might just hit it looking at the extra deck. Zeus also probably is a pretty good target that they can go for. If you're a Kashtira player watching this, Draglubion is a very good target. It is a very good target to hit, because that's what these cards use, is Draglubion. 2 Hope, 2 Numeron, and 2 Draglubion, because Mind Hacker is so detrimental. If Mind Hacker gets banned, I would probably leave 2 and 2. It's still hard, because even Unicorn Rip 1 can make this playline awkward. But I don't know. Let's see where the format goes. Double Zeus, and then we do have a lot of darks, and we can go Dark Charmer into Unicorn into Access Code. You're only going to get pop 1 because they are both darks, so I was debating running a different Link 3. I forget which one I had initially. It wasn't Unicorn, but I forgot what it was when I was thinking about it, so I was just I'll just throw Unicorn in there. But if you can get a different useful Link 3, that would be better if it's not a dark, because then at least you get 2 pops off of your access code. For this, the side deck is really specific to where you plan to go play, so I'm not going to have a side deck in this video, but hopefully you guys liked it. Let me know what you like most about the least, if you're going to test it, if you're going to try it. And Cyber Dragons, we're back, guys. At least in our spare time. I am still playing Kashtira competitively. Just had an insane match versus a very high rated player in a cash tournament, and we clapped them because we just that good. Stay tuned to see if we can't bring it home. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for watching, and I really enjoyed messing with cyber dragons again. Definitely going to keep doing it. Take care.